So today I've got an interesting one for you guys. I'm going to be doing some track and field work, and I thought I'd test out this on a professional shoot. This is the Accsoon F-C01. Now, I know a lot of you guys who do manual focusing don't like to obviously manual focus with your hands. You prefer an actual focus motor, and I've been using a couple others in the past, and I do want to talk about those in comparison to this one as well, like the Tilta Nulceus Nano, because that would be the main competitor of this thing. And we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of both of these systems, but mainly I will really want to test this one out because I use the Accsoon Cine i2S Pro transmitter. That is a fabulous transmitter. I absolutely recommend that to pretty much everyone. It's super low latency. It's amazing if you want to connect to the app and have multiple devices and stuff. So good. But we're going to be testing this one out. We're going to be meeting up with Jordan Kahu. He's an ex-NRL Bronco player, which if you don't know what NRL is, the National Rugby League. It's pretty much like rugby union, but better. Subjective. But we're going to be testing this one out, and we're late. It is time to get down to Gold Coast because I know the traffic is going to be intense. So let's go talk out there. We'll come back into the studio later on after the shoot. All right, let's go. Now, I've usually used the Accsoon, what is it? The Cine i2S Pro, which is a video transmitter that I attach to here, have it on a director's monitor. Absolutely incredible. This one has a few quirks in terms of setting it up and where to mount it, but overall, it's interesting. It's an interesting one because of the way you have to hold it. I would say this would be better for a first AC, a focus puller, rather than a cinematographer or videographer. So see how we go for the rest of the video. Now, if you are utilizing this as, you know, taking some of the weight, it's actually not too bad, providing that you've got a top handle or a side handle to work with. Now, if you are chucking this on an easy rig, it is so much easier because you don't actually have to utilize both arms to, you know, hold the weight of the camera. If you are working with the Sony Alpha cameras, it's going to be so much easier because it's lighter and you only need this to be mounted on the side. Focus on your left hand where it sits. So I'll get you to stand up and then get into that position and then go through the process. All right, 3, 2, 1, action. Now you can actually wire this directly to the focus, or you can actually have the focus motor to be powered directly through USB-C or D-tap. And then you can actually pull wirelessly. Now, because currently at the time of this video, Accsoon don't have a focusing handle, this would actually work very well with the First AC or a focus puller. So if they have this attached to their monitor, and then if you've got the Accsoon transmitter, you can actually pull wirelessly with very, very minimal latency, which is really good. And I love the performance of this because it literally feels like it is instantaneous when you're actually wanting to focus, and it actually, you know, pulling the focus for you, which is really good. Obviously, when you are doing action sports like this, you do want the focus to be very fast and accurate. But if you did actually want to mount this on your camera, like I did with the FX6, it is pretty simple, and I do love that attachment that it comes with, and you can easily slide it in and out for, you know, ease of use. Yeah, I'll cut with feet. Next. Woo! That cardio. Damn. Some of the key features of this actual focusing motor right here is really interesting because it actually uses the Sony batteries, which is great. I've got a ton of them for my a6000, the ZV-E10, but these are the Sony FW50 batteries. So these are the really small ones, and it did seem to power this whole thing almost the whole day. So it was a full 8-hour shoot. I pretty much left this on the whole time, and I changed the battery once, and it did drop out probably maybe 6 hours into the shoot, so I'm not sure how much power this is actually rated. But the thing with this thing here as well is that it actually draws power into the actual focus motor itself via USB-C. So it's USB-C to USB-C, which can actually be really useful because you only have to deal with one battery, and that USB-C cord is providing pretty decent amount of power. Now the focus motor can actually draw in 5 volts or 16.8 6.8 volts of power, which is really good. And it is a little bit more powerful than the Tilta Nulceus Nano, because if you did do DTAP to the Nulceus Nano, that draws in, I think, about 12 volts, whereas it's like 5 or 7 volts standard through that micro USB. Whereas this one, USB-C, tends to be a little bit more powerful cord. And if you did DTAP into this, you could probably max out that 16.8 volts, which will handle pretty much any lens, no worries, any big cinema lens. So that is a really good plus.
All right, who are you?
Name's Courtney Thwaites, and I'm a personal trainer and online coach who used to run track and now is getting back into it after 6 years off. So let's see if I can convert the gym into the track. Yeah.
And where can we find you?
At Courtney Thwaites. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you and what do you do?
Hello, my name is Jordan Kahu and I'm a full-time videographer, photographer and gym owner on the Gold Coast.
And where can we find you?
At jordan.kahu, right here.
Editing.
There you go, bro.
Now, I think one of the greatest features about this focus part right here is the actual screen. It actually gives you a percentage, or at least a distance between what is 100% and 0%. So closest focusing distance to the furthest focusing distance. So if you did want to actually set a couple of points, all you need to do is press the A and B, and you can set A, set B, and just hard stop focus in between those 2 points, which is very handy. All you need to do is press A and B again, and it goes back into pretty much your full manual focus. And if you did want to do it on the fly and just look at the percentage, you can actually do it that way. But the A and B presets is probably a really good option, but I personally prefer not to have that and predominantly do it by eye. So that percentage is actually really good for me. Now, one of my main gripes with the Tilta Nulceus Nano is that screen. It is so dim that you can barely see anything. This screen is super bright and you can actually see it during the daylight, which is so much better and just makes the workflow so much easier. Specifically, if you are trying to go through the settings, setting those A and B points, if you are having a look at the focusing distance, and if you're trying to switch between clockwise and counterclockwise, it's as simple as just clicking a button, looking on the screen. It's so much easier. Even just to see the battery percentage on this thing, you can actually see it without any issues whatsoever. And with that clockwise and counterclockwise function, you really have to dive super deep into Tilta Nulceus Nano. Like it's so frustrating sometimes because you don't always have the focus motor on the left-hand side. You've got it on like a handle, or you know, pulling focus with your right hand. There are so many different ways you're actually going to be mounting this on your camera. And if you are doing it differently in a shoot, you want to have that ability to go through the functions and settings really quickly and not waste any time.
I am T Tanya, T Sizzle, T Dog,
Twizzle.
Twizzle, all the other ones.
And what do you do?
Tanya Mitchell. Where do I what?
What are you? What do you do?
I thought you said where do I live? I'm not telling people that.
Clearly in your car.
In my car. I have car curtains. What was the question again?
Who are you and what do you do?
I am Tanya Mitchell. I do freelance photography and videography. I work with a bit of tourism boards, brands, companies, people.
And where can they find you?
At Tanya A. Mitchell. There's 2 A's in there.
I'll link it right. Where's my finger? Oh, here.
Now, in terms of the build quality, the body is pretty much plastic, but this right here is like a magnesium alloy or aluminium build. It is really solid when it comes to it, and the grips are actually quite grippy, so you can actually utilize this with one finger if you really wanted to. I know there are a couple of other focusing systems that are, you know, just a bit too smooth, don't have any rubber on it, so it can be a little bit slippery, specifically if you do have gloves as well. This one will work with gloves quite well. All right, so overall, what are my thoughts on the Accsoon F-C01? I really like it. It's very powerful, it's very well built, it pairs well with bigger camera rigs, But like I said, if you do want a side handle, Tilta do offer those side handles with focusing motors on it. But if you are giving this to a first AC, they're gonna absolutely enjoy it, and especially that bright screen. That bright screen is a savior on set, especially if it is a very bright day and you're trying to go through the settings or set some, A points and B points. These things can definitely help you speed up the process when you are actually on set. And having that higher power output is really important for those real tough cinema lenses that have grippy focus rings. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when my next videos come out. Watch these videos because it does help my channel out, and also click the link in the description below for my LUT. This whole video was graded with my LUT. That certainly helps my channel out. On that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. All right, let's get it.